So I'm just glad na may nakita akong scroll with 7 seals available when you use Google Images. No? Hindi siya AI generated. So you could see yung scroll, yung edge ng kanyang leaf, no? Nandoon. And then yung ano nga, yung 7, yung seals, no? 2, 4, 6, 7. It's good na sumakto siya dun sa number. Tapos yung ano siya, wax, no? Yung red wax, tapos meron siyang sort of parang string na rin that holds the scroll fixed. And so, isang scroll at tinatanggal, no? One by one. But, hindi, likely, consequentially, ganun ang understanding natin. But when you read yun sa Four Horsemen, sometimes you might wonder kung sequential ba talaga yon or they're coming sabay-sabay. Kasi yung references in Zechariah, I forgot what specific passage yun. They were in chariots. There were 4 chariots na they would be going to the different locations in the world, no? So I just just a possibility. So Revelation 5, 1 to 4. Then I saw in the right hand of him who was seated on the throne a scroll written within on the back, no? Sealed with 7 seals. And I saw, so again, yung 2 levels ng sealing, no? One seal is that if you cannot read, then hindi mo mababasa, di ba? It's nonsense para sa'yo, hindi mo mababasa eh. And then, to the one who can read naman, people would say, I cannot read it because it is sealed. And so, here, when John saw the scroll, and then the question is, who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seals? No one in heaven, on earth, or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look into it. Then I began to weep loudly because no one was found worthy to open the scroll. Meaning, how can the revelation of God be opened kung nananatili siya in its setting? How can we know, no? And yun yung naging cause ng desperation dito ni Apostle John. The proclamation is given with a loud voice, as the angel asked, who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seals. So John then records that no one in all creation was found worthy. This is another indication that the contents of this scroll are impressive. So, very important siya, pero hindi siya mabuksan, no? As well as for the execution of their program. So whatever is written in it wouldn't take place unless someone would be worthy. And so John says he wept because it seemed that scroll's contents would remain a mystery. But it didn't end there, no? Yung the lamb that was slain was worthy. So dito yung parallels, no? Again, this is from yung Tim LaHaye, no? Yung comparisons niya, parallels between Matthew 24 and Revelation 6:7. And so right here in this chart, in this table, you can see how the book of Matthew or the Gospel of Matthew is being read from a dispensational point of view, no? Because of the parallelisms nga. Yan, kagaya niyan, there will appear false Christs. So merong rider on the white horse, and then wars and rumors of wars, famine, and then famines and plagues, no? So which in a way, kung ika-qualify natin yung vocabulary, parang papasa naman, no? Even without the use of both the word the rider and then the horse itself, and even the colors, no? And so interesting na merong mga ganitong parallels na makikita natin. Although not very precise siya with regards to sa sequences. No? Ito naman, buong Book of Revelation to observation. Look how nag-ano siya, no? Nag-move siya from one realm to another. Specifically dun sa earth. Focus muna sa earth. And then focus dun sa heaven at chapters 4 to 5. And then earth na naman, heaven. Tuloy-tuloy siya hanggang sa ano. So, there is a definite arrangement, no? Of using yung ano na to, yung modes na to of looking at the realms both from heaven and then earth. And ito nakita na natin din kanina. So the sealing, the first 4 seals, the white horse is tapos given their titles, the Antichrist, red horse is they will bring war, then black horse will bring famine. Pero there is this again, look at the contrast here. Kasi the one responsible for opening the seal are the servants of God. And so, dito, tinitingnan natin dito, so lumalabas, the white horse, red horse, or the riders of these horses, they are all servants of God. Oh, malakas yung red horse, malakas ang tama nun. So, something that is kasi point of view, if it is na lumalabas yung judgments na to as a result of the seals, lumalabas ng mga demonic forces to, which is not true. In fact, they are the servants of God, performing nga lang things that may be unpleasant to human experience. Diba? Failures and death and hell. And then there is this vision of the martyrs in heaven. Tapos biglang universal upheaval, devastation, and then the revealing of the 7 trumpets. So it is to follow nga. Kaya nga, in dispensation, you look at the sequence, and sabi, merong, of course, sino ang nag-cause ng breaking of the seal is Jesus, the Lamb. And then when one seal is being opened, there is this calling from the angel, come. So these are not demonic forces. Oo. Kasi the question is, who did they represent, di ba? So even yung kanya, sabi ko nga, unpalatable, hindi siya masarap sa panlasa, yung red horse, yung pale horse, hindi masarap sa panlasa. Kasi it is about death and hell. So it appears na functionally, they represent, they were agents of justice. At this is not unique kasi during the Passover, di ba? Yung the 10th plague, ang task ng 10th plague is to kill the firstborn among the Egyptians, or to the places where there is no yung blood stain on the lamb, which is again yung the Lamb of God, or the one who appears to be slain, goes back again to sa Exodus. Okay. Let's do a review, no? Again, nasa Bibles nyo na naman to, no? We're still doing a survey ng text itself, no? So the first seal, the noise of thunder captures John's attention, and he witnesses the scene unfolding before him. John says he looked, and then he adds the word behold to indicate the startling character of the vision. A white horse on which a man is sitting. He is carrying a bow, has been given a crown, and his purpose is to conquer. Although one of the, sabi ko lang, potentials, no? So, si Jesus daw ito. Pero given, kasi later sa part of the book of Revelation, Jesus is portrayed as the rider on a white horse. So the question is, are they equivalents? At ang masasabi ko rin dito is no, kasi not just dahil yun lang yung sinabi ng ni Tim Lahey, but if there are equivalents to it, sana nilinaw na ni John right there and then that this is referring to Jesus, but instead it is a servant like the other three servants, or rather the other three riders of different colored horses, no? Yung rider on the white horse seems to be sharing with the same objective as with the second, third, and the fourth. So the white horse symbolizes deceptive purity and peace, while the bow without arrows suggests diplomatic conquest rather than military force. But again, debated rin yun eh. Dahil ba merong bow lang ang dala niya. Wala siyang arrow. So, or pwede kasi yun, the part represents the whole. Pwede naman yun that by carrying the bow, assume na agad na ano, parang say, he's carrying a gun. So wala bang bala yung wala bang bala yung magazine niya, di ba? So ano. Yes, this aligns with Daniel 9:27, where the Antichrist confirms a covenant with Israel for 7 years. Ha? Sige. Kaya nga nilinaw na rin siya na niya, no? To emphasize na yun lang yung dala. No? Hindi naman siguro dahil tinamad lang siya magsulat, di ba? O kinuha lang ng papel yung line, binabanggit ko na, no? Kinuha lang ng papel, na ubusan ng tinta, di ba? So ano, or nakikita niya na nagbablat na yung pen niya, no? Lahis notes yung Antichrist early rule will be characterized by global unification. Ito, this is already yung parang sinasabi natin yung sa movies ni Lahey, including Left Behind, niya at saka ni Jenkins, no? Na lumalabas, the movie goes back na doon sa text. Imbis na yung text na yung nagiging cause ng ambiguous interpretation. Nakukuha nyo? Di ba dapat the text is the one informing us. Pero dito, dahil na rin sa, yung popular series niya, yung movie na yung being read back to dito. And I see this as an exegetical problem. Oh, I see this as an exegetical problem. Kasi ang laging question yan, what if the interpretation's wrong? Then we have been fooled pala. Ganun lang yun. That's just, on my part lang, no? Dito sa ano na to, no? That there might be a host number of interpretations available to us. Pero hindi naman siguro yun enough to prevent others from reading into the text and then seeing potential interpretations. Diba? Ito the second seal, yung yung the noise of thunder captures John's attention. Behold, pala to, copy paste. The rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make men slay and women, no? Or people slay each other. This may refer to massive warfare. Again, yung movie, no? Paano yung movie nakapasok doon sa yung possible nuclear in nature, resulting in catastrophic loss of life. And people might say we might be reading too much into the text, especially with the use of nuclear warfare. Iba na ngayon, ang warfare ngayon, mga drones na Drones na ang warfare ngayon eh. Pero when we go back a few, siguro 20 years ago, no, lalo na yung Terminator series, ako natapos ko yun. Pati nga yung, pati, pati yung dalawang seasons ng ano nun. Oo, dalawang seasons na. So, going back to it, yung potential destroyer of worlds talaga is yan. Through the use of the nuclear bomb talaga eh. No? Uh, so this war, coming early in the tribulation, signals the unraveling of human civilization under divine judgment. The world's quest for global peace under human leadership through thus collapses into chaos, revealing utter futility of godless politics. The third seal introduces a black horse whose rider carries a pair of scales symbolizing economic collapse and famine. A voice declares a quart of wheat for a day's wages and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages. Ito, hindi ko lang maalala kung gaano sila within a week. Within a week. Kung gaano, ano yung nako-consume nila na barley. Dito, sa comparison yun, napaka-kaunti nito. Revelation 6:6 yung ano na to. Sabi, 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages. Yung kinita mo, tapos parang lahat ng tinrabaho mo, everything that you've done for your work, ang kinita, ganito lang yung equivalents na mabibili. Pagkain. Bali dito pinapakita kulang. Kulang para sa pangangailangan nila. No? May inflation. Sige, Masora. Hindi. Yeah, sa ano yun, sa 666 yun goes back eh. How I wish, ano, well, let's just say, ano pa ito eh, Y2K bug eh. No? 1999, nasabi nila that the banks will collapse. Dahil nga, ano, and yung una naming computer was the 386GX. No? Hindi ko alam kung nakaka-relate kayo doon. Ang pinakauna kasi doon yung XT, and then meron pang nauna doon. And then 386DX, tuwan-tuwa na kami. Pero when you use yun sa CMOS, yun sa ano niya, yung bago mag-start, yung OS niya. Hanggang ano lang talaga, 1999, tapos balik siya ng 1900. 1900. Hindi na encode yung ano, hindi na prepare yung computer para sa numbers more than 19, no? And so ganun yung ano yung assumption. Now going back do sa microchip na concept, pati nga yung ano eh no, yung paggamit ng credit cards no. And ano, kasi nga raw tama ba 'yon? Yung concept na papunta raw sa cashless society. So lalagyan ng microchip yung right hand at saka yung forehead. Kasi yung understanding, ito raw yung parts of the body na kayang i-sustain yung kung may microchip man. No? Siguro may mga palsa na hindi ako ano doon, hindi ako expert sa ganoon. Pero pag titingnan natin siya from preterism or you know, ang mga slaves kasi tinatatakan sila eh. Parang kagaya ng baka, no? Tinatatakan sila eh na kasi ownership eh, no? Kunyari Edwin Siriaco, yung may-ari lalagyan easy. So, nakatatak yan sa kanya, no? And so, no, opo. Yung ano yon, so we should say dahil nga ano yun, dahil nga coded yung sinabi na you shall count the number because it's man's number. The number is 666. Naging ano tayo, naging para suspicious. Kung hindi nga suspicious, paranoid pa eh. Na kung paano yung 6669 will come in. At nakita nila, technology is one of the means. Which is not true, or sabihin natin, not correct, pero potential na yun yung ano. Kasi nga, when you talk about the right hand and then the forehead, it concept, ang tinutukoy doon, the will and the power of human beings. Kung ilalagay natin siya sa metaphor. Di ba? Yung right hand mo refers to your strength. And then yung head mo, di ba, yung kalooban. So, ewan ko ba kung nasagot ko yung question mo? Basta yun sa microchip, haka-haka. Tapos parang lumipas na eh. Parang right now, ha? Oo. Dati pa nga yung QR code eh. Kala QR code eh. Dati kasi yung barcode, meron siyang counting ng ganyan. Parang number 6, number 6, number 6. Sa lahat ng barcode, meron ganon. If you can read how it is being, if you know how it is being, kaso ang problema, naubos na yung numbers na yun. Dahil sa dami ng merchandise. Kaya sila gumawa ng QR code. And QR code, parang minultiply lang nila yung by the million siguro yung possible combinations. Oo. It makes sense din eh. Kasi, oh yeah, some element of truth there. Lalo na when you talk about, forcing people to buy. Paano kunyari bukas, ang means of purchasing lang is, lahat lang ng mga may credit card lang. So ang mangyayari niyan, if you are a Christian, or you are a person with a weak faith, di ba? Chances are, sige tara, magmadali tayo para pumili tayo para magkaroon ng credit card. Di ba? Yung yung basic necessities mo, hindi mo So there is this, yung correlation nito mga ito. Okay, ito, the third seal, this event. I hope nasagot ko yung questions nyo, no? Okay naman yon kasi related naman siya doon sa concept ng tribulation at saka ng it will come out. Although, retroactive tayo na nagmo-move tayo from one chapter to another. So this event can be seen as the natural consequence of global war and political instability, with nations in ruin and agriculture destroyed. Famine spreads across the earth. Yet the command do not damage the oil and the wine suggests that luxury goods remain available for the wealthy, revealing the social inequality and moral corruption of the end times. Kasi ang basic nito, water lang at saka yung elements such as wheat and barley. So bakit nila do not damage din? So meron ng special place itong mga types of products na ito, no? Kasi these are important commodities sa Israel eh. The fig tree, the olive oil at saka the grapes, yung vine, no? Important commodities ito eh. So yun yung ano niya. This seal demonstrates the fragility of human economies. Na madali siyang i-control ng ano ng evil ng person who are evil, no? Tsaka yun nga. Ano nga lang ano no, intriguing, no? Kasi um, bakit kung ito ay agency ni God, bakit ganito yung resulta, di ba? Bakit instead of feeding the poor, leaving food on the table, famine yung naging result? And then the fourth seal reveals a pale. Ang Greek niya ay chloros eh. So, di ba yung chlorophyll? So, it can mean ano pa eh, green eh. Pero, ang closest to it is yung pale na ano, yung parang anemic na ano, anemic na, anemic na kabayo, yung ganoon. Di ba? Yung, ah, yung paleness kasi yung problem niya eh. Hindi, yung ano, yung color niya na ano. Yeah. No, no, no. And then of course, her horse rider is named Death and Hades. So, ano. So, regardless kung anong kulay man yun, but sigurado kabayo yung sinasakyan niya, no? No? Given over to ano no, over a fourth of the earth. So, that's like 2 billion people. Kung 8 billion na tayo, di ba? A fourth, di ba? 2 billion yon. And then that's a lot. Hindi lang yan yun sa COVID pandemic. Oo nga eh. Ano lang tayo? Ta- oo. So Lahey interprets this as a global death wave, the culmination of war, famine, death. Yung idea ng ano, no? Combination of these factors. At this stage, 1/4 of the world's population perished by today's count. Over 2 billion people. This is a sobering reminder of the reality of divine judgment. And again, hindi ito ano lang to, hindi lang ito pakitang cute lang. Ang very purpose nito is really to inspire the ano no, yung people to having the fear of ano, yung judgment of God, di ba? The fourth seal represents the climax of man's self-destruction under sin, setting the stage for the subsequent intervention of God in the subsequent judgments. So the fifth seal, under the fifth seal, John sees the souls of those who had been slain because of the word of God. These are tribulation martyrs. Kasi nga, ang assumption, the rapture has taken place, the church has been taken away. So, what was yung mga people na namatay dito represent yung tribulation martyrs who come to faith after the rapture and are killed for their testimony. Lie emphasizes that the church has already been raptured. Parang paulit-ulit na tayo dito. These martyrs cry out for justice. How long, Sovereign Lord? How holy and true until you judge the inhabitants of the earth. God gives them white robes and tells them, ito yung ano, yung intermediate state, to rest until the full number of the brethren are killed. So they have to wait itong even while they ano, kahit patay na sila, yung kanilang katawan, yung mga kaluluwa nila remains yung consciousness, able to call for justice, no? Because of the crimes that were crimes against humanity, no? Crimes against the believers, due to the cruelty, no, of the people responsible for their deaths. And then there is the sixth seal. When the sixth seal is open, the cosmic upheaval shakes creation. The sun turns black, the moon becomes like blood. Yung, ano, no? Stars fall. Yung Sa case naman ng ano ng Egyptian plagues, yung river naman ang nag-turn into blood. Eh. Although meron dong event yung moon ay naging darkened, no? Stars fall from the sky and the mountains are moved. Lahi interprets these events as literal disturbances, possibly resulting from nuclear warfare. Again, naipasok niya na naman dun yung ano, yung sabihin natin na na-limit lang to into one interpretation yung ano, no? When you say yung ano, fall on us, humanity's reactions as one of sheer terror. Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb. And now doon sa seventh seal, no? After the six seals chaos, heaven falls silent for about half an hour. And Lahe interprets this as the silence of awe and anticipation, the calm before an ever greater storm. This moment separates the first quarter of the tribulation from the next phase as the seventh seal introduces the seven trumpet judgment. So, opening 1, open 7. Ganun yung nangyari. The seventh seal thus serves as a transition from man-centered suffering to God-centered wrath. Whereas the first 6 seals portray human activity under divine sovereignty, the trumpet and bowl judgment represent yung ano, so another 21 events of God upon the earth. So again, ang purpose nito is to call people to repent, to use itong mga forces na to around ano, sabihin natin yung God created forces in order to call people to repentance. No? The heavenly silence reflects the solemnity of this shift. The angels themselves pause in reverence as the full magnitude of divine judgment unfolds. Four important observations from doon sa concept ng seven seals. Na pwede nating i-push doon sa ibang ibang tawag dito. Ibang places within the book of Revelation. The first is the sovereignty of Christ. No, even we can see that the forces are going tawag mo rin, used for the punishment of people. No? Sumusunod pa rin lang sila sa pinag-uutos ni Christ. Pangalawa, human responsibility and rebellion. So there is this, again, portrait of human responsibility in the events. But also, in the face of being called towards justice, rebellion pa rin yung response. Maganda yung the continuity of prophecy. We look at na may mga prophetic messages sa Old Testament na hindi pa na-fulfill. Especially when we talk about the day of the Lord, no. But here makita natin yung how it connects to yung between the testaments, no, the new and the old. And then the fourth, kahit na there we can see that the judgment of God is being applied in the different sequences. We can still see the grace of God, no, in these events. Of course, grace is related to the grace of God is related to the exercise of judgment. Yun. Any feedback? 7 seals. Kaya ma-promise hindi na natin titingnan yung 7 bowls at saka yung 7 trumpets, no? Dami niya, no? Nagbigay lang naman ako ng sample para especially nandoon yung 4 horsemen of apocalypse na laging ginagamit, no, para sa sabihin natin sa understanding ng future crisis when we talk about dispensationalism. Separate later chapters pa siya, later chapters. yung ano yan, no? Naka-indicate doon the parang the old dragon Satan, who is Satan. So, in-identify ni John si yung dragon as Satan. But when you say dragon, hindi ito yung dragon na parang malaking butiki na malaking bayawak na binigyan ng pakpak, no? Sabi nga namin noon, that is the that is the European dragon. Yung dragon sa kanila sa yung yung Asian dragon, mas malapit siya sa mas malapit siya sa Dragon Ball Z. yung, yung mabang ahas na Although very oriental yun kasi ang layo naman ng China at saka ng Japan sa sa Israel, which is in the center of the map, no, yung sa yung what is yung world that is found din, no, so at yon ang concept ng dragon doon, may pagkakawig siya doon sa sa hindi doon sa serpent serpent sa chapter 3 hindi mas malapit siya doon sa sa Leviathan. ah 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 oh, unfortunately mas siya hindi, how I wish nilinaw nun sa Book of Jonah. Pero yung concept ng Leviathan is dambuhalang sea creature that human beings cannot control. Kaya it can be a whale. Kung gano'n ang magiging definition mo, it is a huge or enormous creature that human beings cannot control, then that is the whale. Pero pwede rin siyang great white shark. Yun nga lang yung great white shark, pag si si Jonah, ay nun, pira-piraso na yun si Jonah. And, uh, at yun, yung, how do we see it? Again, nga siya, kinakatakutan at in the case of the dragon, walang magandang gagawin sa atin. Is not and definitely uh hindi siya kagaya nitong mga angels na to that stands under the sovereign will of God. Yung dragon na yun is in opposition. Any problems or questions with that? Uh,